Hey guys, Allison here. Welcome to day 16 of my year 1 walkthrough of Stardew Valley with Allison Walkthroughland. Let's get ready to play. Alright, so first things first, go check our weather and our luck. Partially cloudy with a light breeze, so no rain, which stinks. And our luck is good, so we're in good humor. We'll have a little bit of extra luck today, so maybe we'll try to clear a few levels in the mines, or at the very least get some copper ores. Alright, Pierre's is now selling fertilizer, which is great, but for now we only have 649 gold, so we're not going to worry about that. Alright, get to watering. Make sure we pet our dog Hello so he gets some hearts. And water all of our strawberries so we can grow them and get 2 harvests out of each and every one of these plants. Here we go. All right. Clear some of these weeds. Now that we have our silo, we can actually collect hay, so I'll be a little bit more aggressive in clearing them than I was previously, just getting the ones right around the edge. Now I can clear these whole areas and collect some hay for when we get a coop, which should be either by the end of spring or sometime pretty early on in summer, depending on how well we do financially. Our first priority is going to be to upgrade our axe so we can make sure we get a steel axe by the middle of spring so we can collect our awesome fiddlehead ferns for the community center bundle. Alright, it's also going to be helpful at that point to have some hardwood for some of the things that we can actually go ahead and craft at that point. So we're going to want to get into that secret forest and we need our steel axe to do that. But we also are going to need some eggs for our community center bundles, and they're also great for gifts because a couple of the villagers, including Sam, like receiving eggs as gifts, and because pretty much everyone loves mayonnaise with the exception of a couple people, including I think Sebastian.
Barnacle head.
Pardon me?
You forgot your mayonnaise.
Thanks.
Alright. Getting close to being done. We're only into the yellow, so we will be pretty okay on energy to head down to the mines. Get rid of our watering can, our scythe, we don't need that. I'm going to hang on to the fishing pole because if we get to level 20, we can maybe catch a ghost fish down there. And let's also, before we go over to the mines, donate some of this stuff to the museum. That's a whole bunch of stuff, so hopefully we should be able to get a reward or two. I think one of our upcoming rewards is some cauliflower seeds. Soon after that, we should be getting maybe some melon seeds, which will be helpful for summer. And there are tons of forageables around this morning, which is great. Good for money. The daffodils are great for gifts, so we should maybe run into a person or two on the way over to the museum where we can give them a gift. Usually Jazz and Vincent are heading that way around this time of the morning, so 1 or 2 of them should be able to receive daffodils. All right, looking for a cave carrot. Might be something we can accomplish for Mr. Harvey. All right, get these salmon berries. Hello, Mr. Lewis. We will catch up to Vincent and give him his daffodil before we get to the museum for the morning. All right, for me, well, thanks. You are welcome, good sir. And head into here and donate all of this crap to Gunther. All right, great. Put some of the gem and other things like that up here at the top. Not that it really matters. You can put them absolutely anywhere. You still get the same rewards. It just sort of looks more aesthetically pleasing, I suppose, to keep like things alike. So why not? All right. Get this thing here. And this thing there. Doesn't really matter what the hell any of this crap is. What does matter is we got 2 new rewards. including some cauliflower seeds, which will be helpful. They take 12 days. We're at day 16, which puts us up to the very edge of being able to harvest them by the end, but luckily we got some of that speed grow. So let's just head over and plant those with the speed grow this morning. That way we can make sure that at least the vast majority of them get harvested by the end of spring. Head back to the farm. All right, well, it's getting to be almost midday, so when we are going into the mines, we may not actually be able to clear all the way down to level 20, but at the very least, we should be able to get some copper ores, which is great because we need, I think, maybe one more tapper, if I remember correctly.
Just tap it in. Just tap it in. Give it a little tappy. Tap, tap, taparoo.
And if it's not another tapper we need, our next go-to is going to be to upgrade that axe to a copper axe, which will make us more efficient in gathering wood for things like that chicken coop I was talking about before, as well as get us closer to the steel axe so we can cut open those giant logs and get into the secret forest over by the wizard's house.
I'm the whiz! I'm the whiz!
What about your fact-checking job?
Oh, here's the fact. I'm the whiz.
All right, we'll hold on to this leek because it is one of the presents that George loves. So it's nice to have them on hand. I know it's tempting to just sell everything for the gold early on, but it's actually a lot better to save that stuff in order to use it for gifts. All right, that's 9 spaces. We got our 9 speed grow. Put all that down. And plant these cauliflower, as well as water them so they start growing today. And then that way we should be able to get in all or most of them by the end of the season, which ends on the 28th. All of these spring crops are going to die at the end of the season, so we do not want to waste our time planting stuff that's going to die out by the end of the year. So when you're planting your seeds, be very cognizant of the fact that, you know, some of them take up to 12, 13, 14 days to grow, and you're not going to be able to harvest them if you plant them after mid-month. There are other things that only take, 3, 4, 5 days to grow. Those you might want to buy extras of if you have a little bit of cash laying around toward the end of the spring, because they're great for gifts. The main thing I'm thinking of there is parsnips. Most of the villagers like them. The seeds don't cost a whole lot. Linus liked that gift. He likes pretty much every gift that you give him, with the exception of a few things. And horseradish there. Head into the mines. We're going to be cutting it close for clearing down to the bottom, but we should be able to at least get some ores because it is a good luck day, so usually there's plenty of things like ores and quartz laying around. It's also great to collect this bug meat now that we have a rod that can actually have bait on it, and it's a free source of bait instead of having to buy it for 5Gs a bundle over at Willie's shop down by the ocean. Those cherry bombs will come in handy on the lower levels of the mine, or if you're trying to clear a lot of space quickly in order to find your last ladder and you're running out of time at the end of the day. So maybe we will use one of them later on, we'll see. All right, sometimes if you have the time in the day, it makes sense to go through and clear the entirety of those areas of the lighter dirt, because that is where you find a lot of collectibles for the museum. But since we started late today and we're going to try and get down to 20, I'm not going to bother doing that. Ugh, that bug got me. It's very frustrating. But at least he dropped a dwarf scroll, which is one of the most important items for the museum. Mainly because once you collect all 4 of them, you get to the point where you can interact with the dwarf, and then you can make friends with him, which you're going to want to do. Right now we don't have access to him because our pickaxe is not strong enough. Hate those flying bugs. I'm really terrible at defending against them. Another dwarf scroll. All right. Make sure we put that to the side. There we go. Organize some of our stuff here. Get rid of the things that we can't eat from the top because it'll be easier to scroll over and eat them if we actually have the opportunity to need that. All right, hold on. Eat this field snack because we're getting a little bit low on energy. And see if we can find the exit down. I think I actually killed all of the monsters in here. Oh, no, there's just a couple slimes lurking down here. Let's get these guys. Come on, slimes. Oh, no. All right, better turn around. Our health is in pretty good shape, so it really doesn't matter if we're pretty aggressive with them. Oh, finally, there we go. For a good luck day, we are being kind of slow in actually finding the entrances to the next level of the mine, but it's only 4:30, so we do have some time left. And we have, I think, 4 field snacks left, so we should be able to go pretty late in the day if we need to. This rock crab. Like to break open the barrels because you find fun things in them, like geodes. Sometimes you get a couple pieces of wood, and those are nice because you're always going to need wood for things. Usually it's in abundant supply, but it does take a lot of time to wander around and cut the trees down, as well as a lot of energy, and so just free wood for not using any energy using your sword in the mines is always a nice little perk of cutting open those barrels. Alright, get this guy, and those lighter gray rocks take 2 hits. The other brownish sort of clay colored ones generally take 1. So if you're hunting for an entrance down to the next level of the mine, my suggestion is to kind of avoid the gray ones because you're wasting an extra hit on them, and there's not a great chance or any greater chance that the entrance is underneath any of them.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
Alright, missed that bug. Once they turn that pulsating green, you cannot cause any damage to them, and then they turn into a flying bug, which is a lot harder to defend against, especially if there are a couple of them, because they change directions a lot, and that is really frustrating. Especially with our crap rusty sword. That's why we want to get down to level 20, because we will get a higher quality sword and have an easier time of killing these enemies. Eat a field snack. We're getting a little low on health and energy. And I think this is the last enemy, so hopefully we'll find an entrance down right around here. Unless there's someone lurking up here. Oh, great. Okay, and now the area is infested with monsters. For a good luck day, this has not been the most successful of mining missions. Got these flying bugs everywhere. A bunch of slimes, which take tons of hits to kill. Another flying bug. Another 2 flying bugs. Great. Alright, let's get some space here so we can actually defend against them. And they'll be coming at us more or less at the same time, so we can hopefully hit 2 at once. Now and again. Okay. Luckily, the green slime is lurking back, because I don't know how well I would have done against all of those at one time. Alright, we're no longer infested. That was the weird mist that you saw there. And finally. Alright, maybe we'll get lucky and actually find an entrance down pretty close here. I do want to make our way over to those copper ores, because that is our main goal, is getting some of those so we can start upgrading our tools sooner rather than later. And now that guy is pulsating green, so we cannot actually harm him. So following these tracks here, because at the end of the tracks there is always a bin full of coal that you can kick and get, I don't know, usually 5, 6, 7, 8 coals out of, which is helpful because a lot of times what will end up happening is you have a ton of ores and you've run out of coal with which to smelt them, but do not either have the resources to build a furnace or have not gotten the actual blueprint for doing so. And that can be really frustrating when you have, 15, 20, 30 copper ores, but no way of smelting them. And it is a big waste of money to go buy that stuff at the blacksmith shop, over with Clint. All right, it's 10:10, so unless we are really lucky on this floor with finding the exit, we're probably not going to make it. I'll try and see if we can at least get some ores, maybe go about halfway down here. If we get down to 20, great. At that point, we can get some, our nice upgraded sword and still make it back to the house in time. Even if we left right this second, we're probably going to be a little bit after midnight just because we are slow. And we don't have our horse yet, and we don't have a lot of speed or ability to drink coffee or eat things to go faster. So it takes a while to get just from here to the farm. All right. And of course, it's one of those light gray ones, which takes 2 hits. All right, at this point, I'm going to give up and head back to the house. We can probably get there, well, we'll certainly get there well before 2, so we're not going to pay any penalties, but we're getting low on both energy and health. And we do not want to have a high energy penalty for tomorrow because that's just a waste of eating a field snack when you're not getting anything accomplished. All right. Head back in the darkness to our farm. Okay, we're almost there. And when you have your chest open, it doesn't actually take any time. Same thing with the menu. So my advice is to start organizing stuff in your menu, and then let's throw something in that smelter. And then once you sort of know what's where, you can just run to the bins, throw stuff in it, go back and forth a couple times, but you'll waste less time thinking about what needs to go where if you actually organize yourself first. The problem is with only 2 chests, I have crap everywhere, and my system is to keep museum, gem, and seed stuff in the top and everything else in the bottom, but it's easy to forget what that system is, which is why you just got to figure out what works for you. But the reason I place these chests so close to the house is because of this scenario where you are running in under the wire trying to avoid passing out or paying an energy penalty. And at this point, we're just a few steps from the door. All right, we can sell all of this stuff because we don't need any of it. So make just a little bit of money for the day and head in and go to bed before 1 in the morning. All right, so we made it in under the wire. I wish we'd finished that last floor, but we did level up in combat. Can make a sturdy ring, which is going to, I think, cut your status effects in half. I never bother making it. You're going to find rings in the mines once you get a little bit lower down that are going to be a lot more helpful with magnetism and other effects, so I usually don't waste the time. But we made a little bit of money and we got plenty of copper ores so we can get plenty of those copper bars together in order to start upgrading our tools. I hope you guys learned a little bit today and enjoyed watching the video, and tune in again next time for day 17 of my year 1 walkthrough in Stardew Valley. Thanks for tuning in.